Soldering errors are easy to make, especially when you have hundreds of printed circuit boards to modify. Consequently, you could end up experiencing various types of soldering defects while handling these tasks. Even more advanced workers sometimes make mistakes, like over or underheating a pin or pad, or covering it with too little or too much solder. To avoid these mistakes and master the ideal solder joint, it is crucial to know how to identify bad solder joints. A trained eye can readily spot most types of soldering defects. A properly soldered joint will have a concave shape and be symmetrical, clean, and orderly compared to its neighbors. An improperly soldered joint will be messy and have some physical abnormality, such as an overly swelled shape or a long stem. The following problems result from the 12 most common soldering mistakes. One of the most common problems along rows and columns of solder joints is the distributed joint, which has a bloated, distorted, and sometimes flaky appearance. The primary cause of a distributed joint is a movement of any sort at the time of solder application. If you have a board placed on an unstable surface and it happens to shake or swerve just as you are applying the solder, the joint could get distributed and lose its composition. A disturbance can also occur if the board is subject to movements or vibrations while the solder is drying. People often confuse distributed joints with cold joints, which have a similar appearance, yet results from different problems. In some cases, you can correct this issue if you reheat the joint and allow it to harden without any further disturbances. To prevent the creation of distributed joints in the future, make sure you have each joint immobilized and stable at the time of solder application. Another obvious problem often spotted on newly soldered boards is the cold solder joint, which usually has a lumpy and sometimes shapeless appearance. Cold joints typically form during applications where the solder fails to come to a sufficient melting state. Aside from their odd appearance, cold joints are problematic because they are incapable of fulfilling their intended purpose. Cold joints generally lack sufficient bonding ability and tend to develop cracks over time. In some cases, you can repair a cold joint by reapplying heat to it. You can accomplish this by applying a hot iron to the joint until the solder flows into place. In some cases, cold joints will also have an excess amount of solder. If so, you can remove it with the hot tip of the iron. To prevent the formation of cold joints in the future, make sure to heat the iron to the proper temperature before applying the solder. Thanks for watching. Until next time.